Many first-time home buyers, many prospective move-up home buyers, and many that currently own a home are concerned about the housing market right now. Many fear that 2020 is going to be a rinse and repeat of 2008 due to the economic conditions. If you're thinking this, stop it. Yes, stop thinking that the real estate market of today in 2020 is like the housing market of 2008. This is the 103rd episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, and it's called It Is Not a 2008 Real Estate Market.
This is the Martini Mortgage Podcast with Kevin Martini.
Thank you for tuning in to the Martini Mortgage Podcast. My name is Kevin Martini, and I'm not just the host of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. I am the branch manager and senior mortgage strategist of the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage. I have been in the financial services since the late 80s. However, I am still a very young man. I have exclusively been in the mortgage arena since 2006 in North Carolina, and I vividly remember 2008. Regardless of your age, I bet you recall 2008 too. Some call it the Great Depression, and they would be right. Some call it the meltdown, and that would be proper. I personally call it the mortgage renaissance. Whatever you call it, in 2008, some very good people were hurt by real estate. Some of the pain was caused by, in my opinion, some bad actors giving terrible advice and who had commission breath. And some was caused by greed. Regardless of why it happened, the fact is that it did happen. And because it has happened, many people that were considering to buy for the first time are slamming the brakes. Many that currently live in a house that no longer meets their needs are reluctant to move up too. Here's an important thing that you have to have top of mind. The real estate market today in 2020 is not the real estate market of 2008. It is materially different. Maybe different is not the right word. The 2020 real estate market is better than it was in 2008. Today, in 2020, real estate is stronger than it was in 2008. So you think this is a bold statement? It really is not. This week, with the help of my co-author and fellow mortgage strategist, Logan Martini, we released the Summer 2020 Homebuyer Guide called Things to Consider When Buying a Home. It's available for free by going to www.martinibuyerguide.com. Now, when I say it's available for free, I mean you just go to the website and you can download it without even putting your name or email address in. There are many articles in the Martini Buyer Guide that discuss what is happening in the housing market and what you need to know and what you need to expect when buying a home. One of the most important articles we wrote is called, and I quote, "Stop! This housing market is not like 2008, end quote. Logan and I highlighted 5 important metrics that one who owns real estate or one who is thinking of buying real estate needs to know about to compare and contrast 2008 to today in 2020. So what are the 5 metrics we monitor here at the Martini Mortgage Group? Well, they are home price appreciation, mortgage credit availability, number of homes for sale, use of home equity and home equity earned. Let me start by talking about home equity earned. Right now, at the time of this recording of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, 58.7% of the homes in the U.S. have at least 60% equity. Now, back in 2008, people had to walk away from their homes because they were worth less than what they owed. Since there is so much equity, again, 58.7% of all homes in the U.S. have at least 60% equity. There is much less likely a foreclosure or a short sale happening. Don't fear the current market. I believe that one should run into this market and seize one of these epic home loan rates that are available today. On the topic of mortgages, there was a report done by the Mortgage Bankers Association called the Mortgage Credit Availability Index. During the peak of the housing bubble, the index was high. With this report, the higher the number, the easier it is to get a mortgage. Make sense? At the peak of the housing bubble, the index was north of 850. To be specific, it was 858.7. And it felt like the only prerequisite to get a home loan was to have a pulse. During the peak, the loans were offered to one that had no income and no assets. Now, today, the index is just below 134, meaning that you have to have a job and more than a pulse to get a mortgage. Do not fret. Common sense is deployed when getting someone qualified and ultimately approved for a mortgage today, but the days of stated income has been gone and has been gone for a while. And to me, this means that many people that have home loans today have the capacity to keep making that mortgage payment. Let me talk about, for a moment, the number of homes for sale. One of the causes of the housing crash in 2008, in my opinion, was oversupply of homes for sale. Today, we see a much different picture. We don't have enough homes on the market for the number of people that want to buy them. This is not just in Raleigh, North Carolina, but it is a reality all over the U.S. We have less than a 6-month inventory, an undersupply of homes available for buyers. If you are renting today, it is my opinion you should run to home ownership. If you fear the housing market, do not. Seek a trusted mortgage strategist that has a servant's heart that can provide you with real data. When getting a mortgage, which may be the largest debt of your life, don't rely on one of those websites that promise you to take you on a ship to the moon. You should understand who you get your mortgage from matters. They should be local and be able to give you 3 things. Number 1, they need to understand your goals, not just your long-term goals, but your short-term goals. And with that understanding, they should be able to create a plan that provides you with price and cost clarity. Number 2, they should be able to get you pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. What is the difference, you ask? When you are pre-approved with the Martini Mortgage Group, you are able to make a same as cash offer. As I mentioned previously, there is an undersupply of homes today, folks. The best foot you can put forward is a same as cash offer that communicates to a seller that you are not just ready and willing. It says to the seller that you're ready, willing, and able. Oh, by the way, when one is pre-approved, once you are under contract, the process is world-class and frictionless here at the Martini Mortgage Group. Number 3, after you are closed, it's the most important time. A true mortgage strategist will not only monitor, but manage your mortgage post-closing. If you are considered to buy a home as a first-time home buyer or as a repeat home buyer, you do not need to fear the current market. This real estate market is not like 2008's real estate market. Real estate today is stronger. The homeowners are stronger. And we are not in a housing crisis in 2020. I believe that we are in a housing ground floor opportunity. I have found, regardless of your experience, many overestimate the monies needed to buy a home, and many overestimate the credit score needed. Listen, do I know if it's right for you to buy a home for the first time, or do I know it's right for you to sell and move up as a repeat home buyer? No, I do not. But what I do know is that you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family to seek knowledge and get advice based on facts, not myths, from a local mortgage strategist. Let me thank you for investing your time to listen to this episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. If you have questions about what you heard, I invite you to give me a call. My name is Kevin Martini, or give a call to fellow mortgage strategist Logan Martini by dialing 919-238-4934. When we connect, you will find that we will provide you with trusted advice with a frictionless process that provides you with certainty. Oh, by the way, don't forget to check out the Martini Buyer guide called Things to Consider When Buying a Home. Free access is available by going to www.martinibuyerguide.com. Please share this episode with someone that would benefit. Stay safe. Wishing you peace and blessings.
The Martini Mortgage Group makes real estate dreams a reality with trusted advice in a stress-free environment with great rates and on-time closings while providing a world-class experience. If you or someone you know has questions about the current mortgage rates or the current mortgage programs, please reach out to the Martini Mortgage Group at 919-238-4934. The information contained in this podcast presentation is for general product information purposes only. Arklatex Financial Services, LLC, NMLS number 2143, doing business as Benchmark Mortgage, makes no representations or warranties of any kind expressed or implied about the completeness, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the information, products, or services. All loans subject to borrower qualifying. Other restrictions may apply. Branch Manager Kevin Martini, NMLS number 143962. Branch located at 5650 Six Forks Road, Suite 101, Raleigh, North Carolina 27609. Contact the branch by calling 919-238-4934. Equal housing opportunity.